the Scottish Fiesta Championship, and on pole position we have Kevin White. So far this year it's been pretty much wet conditions, and we've seen Wayne MacCAULAY absolutely dominant. No one really been able to go with him, except for Kevin White. When it dries up, seems to have some good pace as well. I'll hand it to Richard and he'll take us through their first race of the day.
Thank you, Joe. Kevin White starts on pole position. Alongside is the defending champion Wayne MacCAULAY. Peter CRUICKSHANK and Liam Robertson on row 2, then Steve Ward and Jim Deans, who heads the XR2s, from Stephen Gray, then Alec Townley, Chris McNeil and Graeme CUTHBERT row 5. Row 6, Gordon Haston and Barry Farquharson. Robert Kerr completes our 13-car field. So this wonderful mix that we have of the mainstay of Scottish racing, the XR2s have been with us for so long, and the more modern STs on the grid, ready for the start of the race. Lights out now. All of them away well. It looks like a great start from Stephen Gray, who's got the lead of the XR2s, the light blue and orange car, but in lead position. Very good start by Wayne MacCAULAY, but he's been matched by the pole man Kevin White. We're looking at the XR2s heading down the hill. As we said, they've been a feature of Scottish racing for many years. Great start by Stephen Gray. Jim Deans in car number 50 down in 3rd place at the moment in the XR2s, and Jim Deans leads the XR2 championship, so Stephen Gray could well here start to nibble away at championship leads, and we'll talk about championship points as the race develops. But everybody away pretty well, apart from at the back, a little bit slow by Robert Kerr towards the back of the field. We momentarily saw Graeme CUTHBERT there. He's running 3rd in the Newcomers Championship, but out front it's car number 7, Kevin White, won race 2 of our last meeting earlier on this month. Unusual to have 2 meetings in May in the calendar, but Kevin White, for him, hoping to start a little bit of a roll. Not a physical roll, of course, on track, although we do see those from time to time here at Knockhill, such is the nature of the circuit. But it's White leading from Wayne MacCAULAY. MacCAULAY, the green car, the one we're looking at, from in car with a veteran of the championship, Peter CRUICKSHANK. Long-time front runner in the XR2s, moved up to the STs. He's quick in the STs as well. Missed him last month. He had 2 second positions in our opening race meeting the first weekend in April, and he's been put under pressure at the moment by Stephen Ward. So Wayne MacCAULAY is the chaser, having won the opening 3 races of the year. MacCAULAY and White, well, we knew Kevin White was going to be quick. He found some real form towards the end of last year, really found his feet, and now giving the battle to Wayne MacCAULAY. And you heard Joe say at the start of the programme that in the wet, Wayne MacCAULAY very difficult to live with in the wet, but Kevin White in the dry here proving that he's doing the business. Peter CRUICKSHANK looks like he's having a very good race with Stephen Ward for 3rd position at the moment, and MacCAULAY doing all that he can to chase down the race leader. They've both won races, they've both had pole positions, and they've both had fastest laps, and that's a great statistic to set us up for what should be a cracking race between the pair of them. So MacCAULAY chasing hard, and although they're technically battling with each other, they're not compromising lap times, and they're getting away from, well, I suppose we've got a pair battling for 3rd, so probably the same thing happened with 3rd place, is that they maybe are compromising their lap times a little bit. Peter CRUICKSHANK holding sway at the moment in 3rd position, but it's Kevin White, the man from Stirling, leading the defending champion. Forfar's Wayne MacCAULAY in 2nd place. Waved yellows there. I think that's Robert Kerr's XR2 on the entry to the pit lane, so no overtaking there. It is Robert Kerr. That car has given up the ghost. The battle for 3rd will recommence once they get into the green flag zone, which they do now. So it's White and MacCAULAY still 1st and 2nd. Peter CRUICKSHANK in 3rd. Really good battle going on between CRUICKSHANK and Ward. Wayne MacCAULAY runs a little bit wide there. Championship leader MacCAULAY, 18 points clear of Kevin White after 4 races this year. Stephen Ward 3rd in the standings. Peter CRUICKSHANK 4th, despite only having done half the races so far this year. XR2 Championship led by Jim Deans. Stephen Gray 2nd from Alec Townley and Barry Farquharson. Alec Townley, it is, that leads the XR2 Newcomer Championship from Barry Farquharson and Graeme CUTHBERT. And Jim Dean's lead at the moment, 10 points over Stephen Gray. You can see still in the yellow flag zone there. So Peter CRUICKSHANK's got the measure now of the 55 Stephen Ward, on his way to what could be a handy third place. A fair way behind the leading pair, Kevin White and Wayne MacCAULAY, away down the road. Stephen Ward still chasing hard. Liam Robertson in white is running in 5th position. Remember, he started in P4 on the grid ahead of Stephen Ward, so had a better qualifying. Liam Robertson's first meeting in the XR2, in the STs, I beg your pardon, but it's Peter CRUICKSHANK still there in 3rd place. Just coming into shot is Liam Robertson. Stephen Gray still leading the XR2s, and Jim Deans has got ahead of Alec Townley to reclaim 2nd position in the XR2s at the moment. But this means that the XR2 championship battle will close up. You can see Robert Kerr's car pushed right up against the barrier now and to relative safety. So we head back down into XR2 territory. Graeme CUTHBERT in 81 and Gordon Haston in the yellow number 98. Gordon Haston in 11th place, Graeme CUTHBERT just ahead of him. And remember that CUTHBERT 3rd in the Newcomers Championship at the moment. Both drivers new to racing. You can see both got the insignia on the back of the car. CUTHBERT lapping in the 67s. Both the drivers lapping in the 67 second bracket, and CUTHBERT's lap's better than Haston's, but Haston not being left at the moment, so starting to make a race of it. Meanwhile, up the hill goes Kevin White, chasing these two, chasing the 2 back markers. Not sure if he's going to have time to catch those. He's pulling away at the moment from Wayne MacCAULAY, who's going to get a penalty, we're being told, for exceeding track limits. So Wayne MacCAULAY is actually with 5 seconds. That's going to drop him back into the clutches of Peter CRUICKSHANK and Stephen Ward. So I'm not sure if Wayne will have had that message, but here's the scrap still for 3rd position. Off into the gravel goes Gordon Haston. Oh, Gordon was battling hard. Is he going to get it going? He'll do well to get the car out of there. Here come the pair battling for 3rd position on the road. I'll tell you what, Gordon Haston's done a good job to get the car moving again. Green flags at Clark means that they can resume trading of places if that is what is going to happen. It looks to me as if Stephen Ward is getting closer here to Peter CRUICKSHANK. So CRUICKSHANK, for my money, with the time penalties for Wayne MacCAULAY, looks like it's going to be another podium for him, and that is going to be the case whether Steve Ward gets past him or not. So these two have had a great race. Kevin White's still out front. MacCAULAY has the fastest lap of the race, however. They're going on to the last lap, and this the battle then for 2nd position on the timing screen. Stephen Ward all over the back of Peter CRUICKSHANK. Fine race between the pair of them. Kevin White and Wayne MacCAULAY still ahead. MacCAULAY with the time penalty will drop him into 4th place in the final results, but can Peter CRUICKSHANK hold on for what on the time screens will be 2nd place? Here comes Kevin White, the race leader. Wayne MacCAULAY still in 2nd place. Both managed to pass Graeme CUTHBERT there in the 81 car, and it's going to be Kevin White who's going to make it a 2nd win of the season. Maintains his 100% finishing record, also finishing on the podium each and every race thus far in the 5 that we've had. There's the checkered flag. It's a win and a flash of the lights from Kevin White. Wayne MacCAULAY 2nd on the road. It's going to be 4th place in the final reckoning, assuming these 2 boys get up to the flag, which I think they're going to do. Who's going to take 2nd place officially? Peter CRUICKSHANK 2nd. Stephen Ward in 3rd place. Liam Robertson comes across the line just ahead of Stephen Gray, who wins the XR2s from Jim Deans. Alec Townley is the top newcomer and 3rd in the XR2s. Chris McNeil is 2nd newcomer and 4th in the XR2s ahead of Graeme CUTHBERT. And then Gordon Haston is classified, lap down, recovered from the gravel, finishes in 11th.
Kevin White, I predicted a win there in the dry conditions. I mean, I said Wayne's really strong in the wet, but when it dries up, you seem to find something, and yeah, great win.
Yeah, I think the car is really suited to the dry, but obviously I just need more experience in the wet, but the car is absolutely flying in the dry today, so can't complain about that.
And it all kind of went pear-shaped for Wayne there. We don't have him here on the podium to ask him what happened, but penalty after penalty, and you were seeing them as well, so it must have been a little smile in the crash helmet.
I was watching out for him. I could see he was obviously the track limits, and I could see when he got the first penalty and then obviously the second one, so I was watching out for him. It was a bit of a breather when you see the penalties, but you still keep pushing.
Well, I'm fairly sure we're not going to see rain this afternoon, so let's see another one later. Tighten up this championship, give us a battle.
No, I think it should go to the end anyway, so it should be a good battle. Cheers.
Yeah, well done.
Cheers.
The veteran, Peter CRUICKSHANK, on the podium for the STs. A great race. Kevin's got some crazy pace in the dry conditions. What can you do? How are you going to catch him?
Hopeful from wet weather, I think.
Yeah, I just said that. When it's wet, he's not so strong, but in the dry, amazing pace, but I don't think we're going to see a wet one today.
No, I'm pretty sure we're not. I mean, I have to say he and Wayne are within a couple of tenths of each other in terms of dry pace. I was having a completely different race, although I still ended up second, but it was a good fun race to watch, theirs, and I thoroughly enjoyed my one with Stephen Ward. And
I take it you saw the penalties as well that Wayne was getting, so you knew you had something in your back pocket.
Oh yes, I kept on mentally trying to count 5 seconds between when Wayne passed the hairpin and then I got there. And then, of course, in the last lap, I saw he got a 10-second penalty, so I thought, well, thank goodness I can't count till 10. I don't need to count to 10.
Perfect, well done. Stephen, great result, tightening up the XR2 Championship. This is becoming pretty competitive, points-wise, between you and Jim. It's down to just 5 points.
It is, yeah, it's getting closer. That was a good race for me, that one, because obviously I managed to get 5 points back on Jim. He started the race with a penalty, so it worked in my favour. That he done a hell of a first lap to get back up to second by the end of the first lap, so hopefully second race, if I can get another win, that's equal on points again.
And we'll be almost halfway through the year, level on points. It looks like it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, absolutely, can't wait.
Good stuff, well done. Fiesta race number 2 about to begin. Again, glorious sunshine, it's absolutely scorching hot. Kevin White back on pole position. He loves the dry conditions. He won race 1. He's going to be hard to beat here. We've got Peter CRUICKSHANK second. He had a great run in the first one. And our championship leader, Wayne MacCAULAY, away back in 4th after gathering all those penalties in the first race. He's going to have to try to come through the pack here. And let's not forget as well, the XR2s, a great scrabble going on in the XR2s as well. I'll hand it to Richard and he'll take us through their final race of the day.
Thanks, Joe. It's going to be interesting to see what Wayne can do from 4th on the grid. Kevin White, though, starts on pole. Peter CRUICKSHANK alongside then Stephen Ward and Wayne MacCAULAY. Liam Robertson 5th, Stephen Gray on pole for the XR2s, then Jim Deans, Alec Townley, followed by Chris McNeil, Graeme CUTHBERT 10th from Gordon Haston, and then Barry Farquharson. Robert Kerr non-finished in race number 1. He could take to the grid here for race 2, but we're being told he is not going to take the start. So looking at the rear end of the grid, up at the sharp end, Peter CRUICKSHANK and Kevin White. Lights out here for our second race. Duncan Vincent standing on the wall there, just getting the noise off the start line for the guys in the comms box here. But White makes a great start. Wayne MacCAULAY already is up to second place. Very determined start from Wayne, up from 4th place. XR2's making a good start as well. And Stephen Gray putting the white ST of Liam Robertson between himself and the chasers as we go in car with Graeme CUTHBERT dicing with Gordon Haston. Remember Gordon winding up in the gravel race number 1, but doing a very good job indeed to get the car back out on circuit. In fact, it was Chris McNeil, wasn't it, that he was dicing with? There is Gordon going through on the inside, both of them in yellow liveried cars, but out front it's Kevin White from Wayne MacCAULAY. And I tell you what, if Kevin White thought he was going to have this race easy with Wayne MacCAULAY back in 4th on the grid, he'll be thinking again now. Up the hill for the first time they go. White looking to make it 3 wins in succession in this championship, so very definitely the man on form. Peter CRUICKSHANK keeping Wayne MacCAULAY relatively close company at the moment in these early stages. Stephen Ward still there in 4th place, car number 55. Ward's second podium on the bounce as well in the championship, scoring some good points, Stephen Ward. There is Graeme CUTHBERT, the Aviemore based racer in that smart number 81 car. XR2 still a very good way indeed to start your racing career here at Knockhill. You can race in these cars, learn your way around the circuit and then maybe move into STs, and so many good places to start racing here. The calendar this year, I mentioned earlier on, this is the second weekend, or the second race day that we've had in May. Just the way the calendar's fallen this year. We had the rounds 3 and 4 of this championship on the 1st of May, and we're at the end of the month. There isn't a June meeting for the Scottish Motor Racing Club, but we're back here at Knockhill on the 17th of July for round 7 and 8. Look at this wonderful shot from the pit wall, and Wayne MacCAULAY is challenging for the leads. I was about to talk about the away day at Alton Park in August, and Wayne MacCAULAY and Kevin White will be there for that, I feel sure. White closing down on the championship lead of MacCAULAY at the moment. He's definitely the man of the minute, but Wayne MacCAULAY has proved that he won't let a thing like a time penalty put him off. He's caught the race leader. He had fastest lap in race number 1. Peter CRUICKSHANK here, well, you heard him, an absolute gentleman, heard that he loved his race in race number 1. He's not getting a race here from Stephen Ward in race 2. Ward not close enough at the moment, but we are focused on the leaders in the STs. Kevin White trying to make it 3 wins in succession here. 1 rounds 4 and 5. Peter CRUICKSHANK still there in 3rd place, and if he stays there will remain an ever present on the podium in all the races that he has started so far this season. White and MacCAULAY still there. Let's have a look at the lap times. MacCAULAY a 62.215 on lap 2. That's the fastest of all of them. Kevin White a 62.4. Graeme CUTHBERT having a look here at the back end of Chris McNeil. Chris McNeil running in 2nd position in the newcomers. Graeme CUTHBERT 3rd. So these guys on the podium in the newcomers category for the XR2s. Now remember, you might come up against, if you to come and join this championship, you might come up against seasoned drivers, but there is that newcomers category in the XR2, so you can fight for your own class, as it were. And there's nothing to stop a newcomer winning outright. We have seen drivers do that before. Liam Robertson in white, and these are the first 2 cars in the XR2s, headed by Stephen Gray. Gray won the opening race of the year, won the 2nd race of the year. Jim Deans, the man, the red car with the white roof following him, won the opening race of the year in the XR2s, and they traded places in race number 2 of the year, and then it was 2 wins last time out for Jim Deans, who therefore had, coming into the round, that 10-point championship lead, which is now down to 5 points. Still great racing going on with Chris McNeil and Graeme CUTHBERT. It's for 9th and 10th position, and CUTHBERT trying to pile the pressure on the number 20 car. Is he going to be close enough to have a look coming down into the hairpin? It's not an overly defensive line from McNeil, but it's a wide line for the 81 car. Graeme CUTHBERT here might be thinking about getting a run up the hill. He's certainly got the inside line. I don't think has got enough momentum to challenge at the moment, so the places stay as they are. Chris McNeil in 9th place overall, Graeme CUTHBERT in 10th. Running in 4th and 5th positions in the XR2s, 2nd and 3rd in the XR2 Newcomers Championship. Here's the view from Graeme CUTHBERT again, and having a challenge coming down into Scotsman Corner, rides the curbs, and you saw you've got that raised hot dog curb, as they call it. Graeme CUTHBERT hit that and launched the car up onto 2 wheels and really unsettled the car. As we go back to Liam Robertson, car number 12, 5th position in the STs, and there is the lead XR2. Stephen Gray from Aberdeen hasn't finished lower than 2nd in class all season, and this, I think, will level the points between himself and Jim Deans, the man from Stonehaven, who's chasing him in the XR2 Championship. And amazing after all these years that we've got 2 very evenly matched drivers, and, you know, very nearly at the halfway point of the season, and these 2 guys, by the look of it, are going to be level on points leaving Knockhill Circuit today. So hats off to all involved in the XR2. There are cars sitting around in garages, so if you Google the championship or have a look at Facebook for the XR2 Championship page, you'll be able to find details and contact details of where to get a car. Well, Stephen Gray maintains the lead, goes up the hill. Is he going to get the scalp of the ST, though, of Liam Robertson in 5th place? We'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, onto the last lap goes Kevin White, still from Wayne MacCAULAY. Wayne still has the fastest lap of the race, but Kevin White made the most of that start. Wayne MacCAULAY was very quick getting up into 2nd. White goes through Scotsman for the last time. Coming up through the chicane, as you can see, keeping pretty well away from the hot dog curves. We've seen how those dislodge any cars that venture out that far. On board with Wayne MacCAULAY, trying to close in on the race leader. MacCAULAY will retain the championship lead here, but will lose a few points to Kevin White, who will close up this weekend. Here's the view from the hairpin, the last corner on the lap, and Kevin White is on his way to making it 3 wins in succession. Exactly half of the races run so far this year. Up the hill they go. There's the checker. Kevin White takes the win. Wayne MacCAULAY is 2nd. Peter CRUICKSHANK bags another podium. 3rd position for Peter. Stephen Ward is next. Then it's Gordon Haston. Haston a lap adrift in the XR2. There's Liam Robertson. XR2 win for Stephen Gray from Jim Deans. So the XR2 championship does indeed get closer and closer. Fantastic stuff. Here's the result. White from MacCAULAY and CRUICKSHANK. Stephen Ward 4th, then Liam Robertson. Stephen Gray from Jim Deans in the XR2s. Alec Townley next from Chris McNeil and Graeme CUTHBERT. Gordon Haston next up, non-finished sadly for Barry Farquharson.
Kevin, well done. Yet another dominant victory. Well, dominant-ish victory. Championship-wise as well, I thought this was Wayne's, but it's not, is it?
No, it's close up. Obviously, he got a 10-second penalty the race before, so I think it dropped him to 4th place in obviously that race, so he didn't score as many points there. So I think there's 2 points in it, I think.
It's alive still.
Oh, it's well in there, so we'll see what we can do from now on.
We just need some dry meetings for the rest of the year.
Hopefully it'll be dry the rest of them.
Get some wet testing done.
I'll need to get some of that, that's right.
Well done. Wayne, a recovery there. Championship-wise, I thought that you were miles ahead, but Kev's been awfully quiet, collecting points at the start of the year while you've been dominating, and there's only 2 points in it.
Is that as close as it is? Oh no, we'll have to pull someone out of the bag next meeting then, eh? I don't know what, this meeting for some reason we're getting penalised by track penalties and track limits and all that, but I mean, I'm waiting to appeal this one.
Oh, so it's not over yet?
No, it's not over this time, no.
We'll wait and see. That's a provisional 2 points.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Well done.
Right, thank you very much, cheers.
Stephen, well done. Level on points. Mission accomplished.
Yes. That was what I was hoping for at the end of this meeting, to get back level on points. So really pleased. That was hard work. That one, so hot in the car. You know, the only sunny day ever in Knockhill.
Is it because it's dry that we're seeing you being able to take it to the gym a little bit more?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I slightly tense or something in the wet. I don't know what it is, but I felt better in the wet at the last race meet, so hopefully I'm getting a bit better at that. But certainly in the dry is where I prefer it, to be honest. Yeah.
Well done. It's set up for a nice finale.
Thank you. It's going good.
Second half of the year.
I know. It'll be exciting. Cheers.
Well done. Well, unfortunately, that's all we have time for in today's programme, but what great action we've seen all day long under some mega tropical conditions here at Knockhill. Make sure you tune in next time.